Previously, in my hi-fi enthusiast videos, I've mentioned that you get to know a lot of rare audio brands. This time, I'm sharing with you Henry Audio, which I believe is a relatively unfamiliar brand to most of you. This brand is from Norway, and this time I want to share a DAC with you all. The model is called the DA256, and it's made in Germany. At first, when I saw the name Henry Audio, I actually thought it was a Hong Kong brand. It turns out this brand was renamed by the designer Beauregard in memory of his grandfather. After listening to this DA256, I feel it's really suitable for audiophiles who like to listen to music at their computer desks. Once you add it in, the sound quality improves noticeably and immediately. As for how it performs when paired with a bigger system, if you want to know, just keep watching. Also, if you haven't subscribed to Hi-Fi Enthusiast channel yet, make sure to subscribe soon. With your subscription, I can make more different videos to share with everyone. All right, let's not waste any more time. This Henry Audio DA256 DAC is about the size of your palm, so it's really space-saving. Even if you put it on your desk, it won't take up much room. Plus, there are no buttons on the front. Everything is automatically detected for input. As long as all the cables are connected properly, you can even tuck it away without any issues. The main power switch is at the back, but since its power consumption is very low and it doesn't get hot, you can leave it on for long periods without any problems. Now, talking about the appearance of the device, the look is very minimalist, in a Nordic style. It's made of silver-white aluminum alloy, and the casing has no visible screws at all. At the bottom, there's a piece of wood which really elevates the overall aesthetic of the device. On the front panel, there's a USB-C signal input port, and next to it is a light. This light can actually change colors, and each color represents something different. For example, when it turns red, it means the USB-B input at the back is active. There are also other signal inputs. When the light is blue, it means the USB-C input at the front is active. When it turns yellow, it indicates coaxial input. For optical input 1, the light will be cyan, and for optical input 2, it will be magenta. Additionally, if you press this button called Program, the different colors represent different signal input sampling modes. I won't go into detail about this here. You can refer to the on-screen display for more information.
Like a river flow surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. So take my hand, take my heart.
Let's also take a look at the back panel. Right here, you'll find the USB-B input, a coaxial digital input, 2 sets of optical digital inputs, as well as the program button I mentioned earlier. Below that, there's also a reset button. There are 2 sets of DC power inputs, from this 8-pin to this 16-pin input, making it convenient to connect to an external power supply. In addition, there's also an RCA analog output, as well as a very small power switch. This DA256 uses the Burr-Brown PCM 5142 decoding chip, and after meticulous tuning by the manufacturer, it supports 32-bit 384 kHz PCM as well as DSD128 digital formats. As for digital inputs, they are the physical inputs mentioned earlier. It also does not support any wireless input like Bluetooth. The network streaming function is simply a single step. As for the high-quality decoder, the power supply regulation, it is said to use technology developed from military-grade instruments. And as for the reference digital clock, it uses an ultra-high precision oscillator manufactured by Garage. Besides the hardware mentioned above, the software is actually important too. The software programs inside the machine are all independently developed by the manufacturer, and the programs are written into this AMOLED microprocessor. This system monitors to ensure that the DA256 maintains low timing errors and stays synchronized with the input digital information, and it automatically optimizes the connectivity of the input. This is one of the key features that makes the DA256 sound so good. To be honest with everyone, this time, when I received the DA256 and opened the package, I was actually a bit dissatisfied. Clearly it has a basic DC power input, but why didn't it even come with a power adapter? I really didn't know how to power it on. Then, after checking the information, I found out that the USB input at the back can also supply power. Since it's already here, I might as well try powering it with USB first and see how it goes. So after listening to it, although I wouldn't say it was surprising, the sound that came out was nothing like your typical budget DAC. There was absolutely none of that harsh, high-frequency feel, and the extension was really good. Overall, it was very smooth. When playing violin pieces, you could hear some subtle details and there was no sense of roughness. Plus, the sibilance in vocals was very well controlled. Honestly, for a DAC at this price point, its sound performance is really not bad. I think it's already good enough for pairing with most entry-level speakers. It really delivers everything it should, but when I later connected it to my main system, I found that when listening with the bigger setup, the bass felt a bit lacking in solidity and depth. However, if you're just pairing it with regular desktop bookshelf speakers, I think there's absolutely no problem at all.
She walks the boulevard without a care, knowing too much, but having come so far. Pretending life is just a game you play for nothing, loving no one and nowhere. Crazy love is all around me.
So this device has been with me for a while now, and after listening to it for some time, I feel like it has pretty good potential, but I still think that using USB power supply does not let it reach its full potential. So I thought about how I could really get the most out of it, and I tried asking the distributor to lend me a Hazel hybrid direct current power supply from the forum. Of course, besides this model, you can also look for other direct current power supplies. There is no problem with that. As long as it has a direct current output and the voltage is between 8 volts and 16 volts, it will work. After adding this external power supply to the DA256, the improvement in sound quality really exceeded my expectations. If I had to quantify it, I'd say it jumped up by 2 levels. The bass performance is exceptionally good, and both the texture and brightness have clearly improved. Also, the DA256 is quite sensitive to the input DC voltage. Since this device allows you to adjust different output voltages, I tried connecting the DA256 with various voltages to listen, and in the end, I found that my favorite was 10.5 volts. I found that the resulting sound wasn't too aggressive, and it also had a really nice sense of density. Really, don't underestimate this little machine just because it's small and looks unassuming. I hooked it up to my big system to listen, and honestly, it didn't disappoint at all. First, when listening to streaming music through the USB input, there was absolutely no sense of thinness. The highs didn't sound harsh, nor did it feel like there was a layer of haze dulling the detail or a lack of analytical ability. There was no sense of over-processing at all. For example, I tried a recording with violin and organ, and I could hear every note of the violin clearly. All the details were very clear, and even when the violin played forcefully, it didn't feel overwhelming or aggressive. What's most impressive is that the organ's massive energy didn't overpower the sound of the violin and the sense of low-frequency immersion. Honestly, I never would have expected such performance from such a small DAC. I feel that the sound signature of this DA256 leans toward a balanced, middle-of-the-road approach. It has a musical quality, but it doesn't overly emphasize coloration. While it offers analytical detail, it never comes across as too cold or lacking in emotional expression. For example, when listening to the song Come Slower by the Korean jazz singer Maria Kim, you can clearly hear the brilliant and dazzling accompaniment, with each instrument's position rendered very distinctly, creating a strong sense of space. At the same time, you can also feel Maria Kim's emotional vocals at the forefront. The combination of the two, you could say it's just right.
Oh, don't try hiding, 'cause there isn't any use. You
After listening to the Henry Audio DA256 decoder this time, I especially recommend it to 3 types of audiophile users. The first group is vinyl enthusiasts who also want to try digital playback. The second group is users of bookshelf speakers with limited space. And finally, those traditionalists who are extremely dissatisfied with digital sound. From a sound perspective, this DA256 decoder is really minimalistic and doesn't take up much space. Plus, you can even add a power supply to upgrade it, so you can really have fun with it for a long time. Finally, if I have to mention any drawbacks, I think the USB input port at the back could be improved because the connector is surrounded by a white plastic frame. Of course, if you use a regular USB cable, there's no problem, but some high-end audiophile USB cables just can't fit in. That's about it for this sharing. I hope that if you enjoyed the video, you can click the superfan button below to buy me a coffee or scan the QR code on the screen to become a loyal member of Hi-Fi Fever channel. All right, I'm Lee388. See you in the next video.